Hi everyone, this is just a quick update to give you an understanding on the developing situation on the ground because right now it seems that Ukraine has broken through the defense lines of the Russians and the whole northeastern flank on the Kherson group is falling apart. We knew yesterday that Ukrainians have reached Duchane, which is here, and they were stopped, not stopped, but more delayed by the Russians just retreating and blowing up this dam, like it's like a sand dam that is protecting some of the water in this area. It was only as a delaying tactic. The situation was still very dire for the Russians, and that was how the yesterday ended. And I explained that there was a whole flanking opportunity. Moreover, this grouping here was under severe pressure because while there is a group of cities here and there is maybe Novokamenka here, otherwise this whole area, it's a steppe, it's an open field. Ability to traverse it is very easy if the weather allows it. And right now we have checked the weather. The weather in Kherson is good enough, so the ground is solid enough. So pretty much the armies can advance from almost any direction. And this was exploited really heavily by the Ukrainians. So as they continued their advance from Duchane direction, right now reports are that they've taken Milove, or My Love, as some people in my community like to call it. But they also were able to advance towards Davidov Brid, which actually was a big forepost for the Russians. This was the fortification. Davidov Brid is what held all of these areas together, this whole fortification line. If Davidov Brid would be taken, that means this fortification line can easily be just encircled because, as I explained, this is all pretty much open field. So seeing that, Russians completely panicked. Since yesterday they had problems with their connections, with their ability to call for supplies, for support. And talking by supplies, one of the biggest reasons of what Russians have explained, because Ukraine not only advanced on these directions and Davidov Brid, but they also started advancing from Arkhangelsk and other directions. And they tried to fight, but many Russians reported that they're actually running quite short on ammo. And this, of course, happened because right now Ukraine was executing a attritioning operation in the Kherson Oblast. Right now, we know for sure that there is some defense going on in Novokamenka. Chkalove, I hear some reports being liberated, but I'm gonna just put it right now that there is still is a gray zone. But it's a quickly developing operation, so we might see Ukrainians advance a lot further. But the main report that I'm getting so far is that they are running. Like Russians are trying to get to basically secondary positions and Ukrainians are advancing. And I mean, the panic in the Russian Telegram channels is high. They're saying that Ukrainians are using vehicles with the V and Z markings, essentially trying to confuse the Russians. I think it's not like that. I just think that Ukrainians just kind of painted some of them over, but not all of them because they captured so much equipment with the Z and Vs recently. Or maybe not, but it definitely means that there is a lot of stress that is happening in the Russian information sphere. So they are panicking, they are running, and this can turn in a very much great route. So if by the end of the day we will see Ukrainians reach Berislav or even Novokakhovka, I would not be that surprised. That would be impressive and pretty much unbelievable, but all in all, we are seeing that Russians are trying to get out of there as fast as they can, and this is a glorious moment to watch. So stay tuned to the channels. I will make a bigger update once we know more, and follow the community page. I will make shorter updates there just to explain what's happening on the ground.